Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to the Progression Gamers Podcast, a place where we talk about stuff, things, and possibly other stuff and things. Here for the best place on any sort of winter storm-related news where you don't have to live in Minnesota. Anyway, with us today we have Kent Blacker, the Filthy Casual. We have Hands of Death, who probably doesn't want a real name used, and J. Kyle 37. Don't call him Jeffrey or James.
Nope, neither of those things. So, Irving, thank you very much. We have a fantastic show prepared for you guys today. We're going to talk, and we've got a kitty joining us. Man, we're like a real internet broadcast.
This is the internet right now.
Yes,
we're on the internet.
This is so meta. This is great. All right, so first thing I want to talk about.
I don't care, Kyle.
I know you don't care, but so let me tell you what I did today. Today I watched a couple of videos on Overwatch, Blizzard's new Teams shooter that they're coming out, MOBA style shooter even. And I don't know if you guys have been following Overwatch terribly quickly, but I am extremely excited for this game. Now, the video I watched was on one of the heroes, Tracer, and she's kind of the flagship girl of this game. And one of her main thing is she has like time jumps. She's got she can jump forward real quick to get out of the way, or backwards. She can blink anywhere on a very short cooldown.
British accent.
Yes, well, yes. I wouldn't know. I'm not British.
Is it British or Australian? I can never tell.
British.
I'm pretty sure it's British, yeah. Because she does have the Union Jack on her
yeah, she's supposed to be.
outfit, yeah. But
Anyway.
she can also hop back in time, so if she gets herself in a bad spot, she can just whoop, nope, out of there real quick. And then she's got like a big AoE damage gravity bomb thing. And watching this video, watching this very complex character play, the first like 30 minutes of this video, I'm just like, my eyes are sore, like I'm not really grasping what's happening. It's all happening so fast. And so I had to watch it a second time, and the second time, getting to kind of realize, you know, when she uses abilities, why she uses them, the strategy behind them. I am very excited for this game. So have you guys been following Overwatch at all? No.
Not at all.
I've watched a couple of their 60 FPS videos on it, but I haven't really been following it too much to really give an opinion on it, I would say. I mean, I'm excited to try it out, but I want to go in kind of blind and not already knowing all of the strategies that I need to know. I don't know why, it's just a personal thing.
I hear you. Hans, why are you excited for it?
It's interesting.
I am excited for it because I love first-person shooter games, and I'm excited to see what Blizzard has to bring to the table.
That's true. This is their first-person shooter that they're going to be coming out with. Personally,
StarCraft Ghost.
Yes, StarCraft Ghost. Oh gosh, that still makes me hurt inside. I'm still sad about that. So
It makes a lot of people hurt inside.
that was my Overwatch tangent. Kent, what have you got for us?
I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft. I actually started working on my flying achievement. I stopped leveling my paladin because I'm like, I want to fly on my paladin.
What flying achievement? Oh, for the Draenor flying.
For the Draenor flying
Draenor
achievement.
Pathfinder.
Yeah.
What is that?
I just went around and I just explored all of Draenor yesterday. I already have War Master, so I'm good with that. But I still need to like grind rep, and I need to do a bunch of other daily stuff out in the world.
So it's not a quick achievement to get.
Oh no.
Okay. Well then.
I mean, there are ways to get it faster, but
Honestly, there's this one quest, it's called like Defending Draenor or something, and you have to go do all of these daily areas, the original like 6 or however many daily Apexis areas.
There's like 10, I think.
Okay, 10 of them, 11, whatever it is. You have to do those, and you can buy all the missives for the quest, so it doesn't take like 11 days anymore.
I'm gonna stop you right there. When you say buy, how much gold are you prepared to spend to get all these?
It's not gold, it's garrison resources.
Oh, okay,
200
gotcha.
garrison resources. I looked this up on Wowhead last night when I was doing it, and it's 200 per, so it'll cost you like 10 or 12,000 resources.
Which these days no one is short on garrison resources. That's a drop in the bucket.
I'm completely capped on resources.
If you have a shipyard, you might be short.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah, that was a wonderful drain of garrison resources. No, like I played the beginning of the expansion and I did all my stuff, and I had all those achievements by the time they released the meta achievement. Like the only one I had to personally get was the like Tanan jungle reps, and that was easy. It was just a revered.
So is it
Yeah.
a 100% of all the quests in the area, or is it just a certain number? Or a
No,
certain
it's just a
quest
certain
line?
number. It's like Lore Master. It's
Okay.
the majority of quests in the zone.
All you have to do is, you know how they have the chapters on every zone?
Yeah.
You have
Yep,
to complete all of the chapters.
all of
Okay,
the chapters
gotcha.
per
Oh,
zone.
okay.
So, which
It's
honestly,
not bad.
the way that they design questing, the way they design going through areas in Draenor, I personally very much enjoyed.
The best they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's-
the quest revamp is amazing.
And coming from you, Irv, that means a lot because you're not overly fond of quest grinding and going through new content. You've always complained. Everyone complained about Cataclysm. Everyone complained about Mists of Pandaria.
I didn't, because
I
those are my
hated
first
leveling in MoP.
expansions.
Yeah.
I liked
Oh, that's
Cata
bad.
actually. I mean, like, it was annoying to level through some of the parts, but I liked the majority of it. And then I really liked the Molten Front with Hyjal.
Yeah.
Really loved that.
Yeah.
But no, just the design, and I've been leveling a character through PC, is just, it's leaps and bounds advanced of what it used to be, and
Mhm.
it's great. You see that, and they definitely, like, that's definitely the model moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're gonna make any tweaks to it in Legion, or if they're just gonna leave it as it is, because it's great as it is.
Yeah, I
Well,
really
that's the
liked
thing.
the questing.
Draenor, it added like, it was feature light if you want to compare it to some of the other expansions, just in numbers of like classes and like races added. Both were at 0,
Mhm.
and then the number of dungeons. But there were so many like tweaks that were just really quality of life based. Like the new questing progression system through a zone, the fact that we had a cinematic at each of every zone.
Yes.
Right.
Like,
That was the
character
biggest thing for
revamp,
me. Was the
the
cinematics.
cut down on visual clutter, which if you're a melee, you still haven't felt that much because there's about 12 pets standing on top of you and you can't see your character.
So, what were you saying, Hans? I think we interrupted you.
Oh no, I just really enjoyed the questing in Draenor, like compared to the other expansions. I mean, I didn't really care for their questing one way or another, but it was fun during this expansion.
So it definitely showed that their allocation of resources for building this expansion was very well spent, and they definitely made the right choices with that.
For the questing, for sure. The end game, they messed some things up, and that's been covered to the ends of the earth by everyone, and that doesn't need to be dwelled on. But
And we've also covered that extensively as well
Exactly.
bitched about it a bit.
Yep.
on episode 1. If you
Yep.
want to go back and look at that.
Plus, in any given podcast, there's like a 50% chance that Irv is currently rating. So
That
Yes.
is true.
Yeah.
There's that.
there's that.
Other
So
than that,
there hasn't
what's
been
up?
any more Legion news. I haven't seen anything.
I haven't
There's
seen
been
no.
some
it either.
PvP stuff, I think.
There was a PvP talk that was interesting. They were just talking about what they thought worked, what they think didn't work, and then kind of plans and views moving forward. There was also, on the front page of MMO Champion, a small, like, 4-sentence summary of stuff that they kind of talked about with Tom Chilton and Ian Hazacostas. We found out where the Hunter class hall will be. It'll be in the zone High Mountain, which is one of the new zones in Legion. It's also
nice.
where one of their artifact weapons comes from for survival.
the spear, right?
Yeah, the spear. Spear of the High Mountain Tauren. BlizzCon is likely to have the first playable tour of the world, so the world is done. Internal alpha is going on right now. And then they're both people had statements related to the launch of Legion. Ian Hazacostas, and it was related to the movie as well. Ian Hazacostas said, our game will be released when it is ready, saying, you know, we don't really care about the movie in terms of our game. He's obviously excited for it because they're fans of the universe.
Yeah.
And then Tom Chilton, who I personally don't like a thing that guy says, him and Corey Stockton I don't pay attention to as far as WoW jets go. He was just like, well, you know, we're definitely aware of the movie coming out, but it doesn't have a bearing on when our game's going to be released. Or he didn't say that explicitly. He did say that they've changed the movie date so many times.
Yeah.
And he
it
also said it
has.
could launch before or after the movie, which is alarming because after the movie would mean mid-June to
yeah.
early July, which is 12 months of this patch, which no one is very excited for.
Nope.
Because no one likes a year long of any raid, even
No,
if it's a
yeah.
great one. So
Exactly.
Right.
So, and that's one thing that I've definitely looked forward to. With this is really soon. I'm very much looking forward to this expansion coming out so quick. Plus, with the movie, it's all about Draenor. Like we've already been through that. We're not really interested in the orcs as far as player goes. Obviously, it's going to be a fantastic movie. It's going to be a way of showing that original without us manipulating the timeline. you know.
Yeah. Well, think about it. The movie timeline, it's kind of like Marvel Cinematic Universe versus Marvel Comic Universe, and then
Yes.
each comic has its own sort of splinter.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like if they were to go back and redo the Warcraft story a little bit, these are the minor tweaks that happen in the movie or what would happen in this new universe.
Mm-hmm.
This, cinematic Warcraft universe, if you will. Like, I don't know if it'll expand that far. But...
Well, typically, I mean, obviously, movies and video games are very different mediums. Video games being the very most interactive form of entertainment you can get to experience the storyline, to experience characters and progression and all that stuff. Movies, while we love them, are limited in that manner. So we can't necessarily have a mage hero going forth and interacting with Thrall. So we may see hints at that, but in the end, it's going to be about Durotar, it's going to be about Black Hand, it's going to be about Gul'dan. And
I don't think there's going to be much crossover, just because the stuff in the lore has already happened.
Exactly.
So why would they put stuff in the game?
Game-wise, there won't be much crossover. There might be some cross-promotional sort of things like, oh, hey, if you see the movie and you redeem a code on your ticket stub, you get a pet.
Yeah.
That is something I can.
And I'm going to go ahead and start with this. I've got 1,000 gold that there will be a Private Jenkins from Lordaeron. In this movie.
He was in the script originally. They put a little blurb on Twitter, but I don't know if they kept him in there or not. And
I'm quite confident. There's going to be Easter eggs, and that's my money. I think he's the most well-known one.
There'll probably be a Leroy Jenkins.
Yep,
Easter
they'll
egg.
get to the Barons and Chuck
he
Norris.
might farm some chicken or something.
Farm some chicken.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
farm chicken.
Exactly. At least
but anyway, are we done talking about WoW?
Never.
We could probably talk about this for like the whole hour.
We could talk about this for the hour, but let's move on.
Anyway, what else have I been playing this week? I haven't been playing a lot of Heroes, but anyway, I guess I'll talk about it now. I found the most amazing game.
What game was that?
It is called Freedom Poopy. It is made.
Wait. Let me poopy as in poopy, right?
Poopi, as in poop. Yes, we are making poop jokes.
Where did you find this
already.
game? It's not on Steam.
It's on Steam Greenlight. I heard about it on another podcast that I listened to, but it's made in Unreal 4, so the graphics look good. I mean, it's Unreal 4.
I can't find this anywhere.
Do a Google search and you'll find it. But it's essentially you're a pile of poop with an eye on it, and it is a platformer. You need to go through. I played like 10 levels of it today. It's really fun.
So this is Poop Emoji the RPG. Is that what I'm getting?
Pretty much. Well, it's not an RPG. It's a platformer. It's a puzzle platformer.
Okay.
And you need to. You're down in the sewer. And you need to find like a cleaning thing and a toilet brush, and then you need to go find the toilet, like a toilet to go.
So this is a little bit Binding of Isaac style, just goofy, nasty.
I guess I've never played Binding of Isaac, so I don't know, but it's a very challenging puzzle platformer. It is.
That's kind of what you're describing, yeah.
So Super Meat Boy, but with PCs.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, that is definitely one way to grab attention. I mean, platformers. There's no shortage of platformers.
I'd argue that's a rather shitty premise.
There's the pun.
Oh gosh, that's why you're on payroll.
So that's what I found this week. But other than that, I've just been playing a bunch of Blizzard games, and it's a fun game.
What pretty much all of
Look
us
it
do.
up. Freedom Poopy.
Freedom Poopy.
I've been playing a decent amount of Heroes since the patch came out.
Yep.
Definitely.
Now, we did
the most hilarious combo for the people out here that play Heroes. You get one guy to play Illidan, you get one person to play Tyrael, then you ult the same person with both of the charge Nocturne alts from League of Legends, and it is disgusting.
Yeah.
It was quite entertaining to
watch. It was hilarious. So made me so happy.
You time it right. Illidan jumps in and he lands a stun whenever he finishes there, and Tyrael does the exact same thing. Plus, it knocks back any allies.
Knocks back everyone else.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a solid. If you time it right, at least 2 or 3 seconds of stun, and then plus the damage.
plus everyone chasing on them. And then there's this great Tyrael build right now. I don't know if he got any changes in the patch, but just I found it recently just by messing around, and he can do crazy damage.
You know, and I'll tell you why I'd like to see more of that disgusting, you know, jump and destroy, is because then we're going to see less KTs and less Jannas.
Oh yeah, no, it's hilarious. Like a Lily is normally the hardest to kill little bitch.
Yep.
On the Nexus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She has a blind. She can run faster when people are attacking her, and she heals.
Typically has a slow.
Millions of cups.
It's
It
a
is
jug of 1,000 screw yous.
Yeah, it's aggravating as all get out, and we just annihilated this poor Lily on the enemy team in Hero League, and it was disgusting. It was beautiful.
It was.
That and then his new
with this
demonic
patch.
is prime.
Oh, it's great, but it's still bugged. I bought it and I went through and I played it, and his little like fiery wings were like so buggy for me. I don't know what was going on, but
I never had any bugs with it.
it just looked glitchy to me with his fiery wings.
That's a shame.
But maybe it's just
I tried out Sergeant Hammer with this patch.
So did I.
She got a tiny bit of a buff, mostly just to her health and a little bit tweaking to her abilities. She's still in the worst spot out of anyone in the Nexus. I will say though, it did make my laning phase very much easier. It was on Dragonshire when I played her, and the first Dragon Knight, it was very easy. We were up against a Leoric and 2 of the Vikings were in that lane, and it was very easy to pop down the Vikings quick enough. He had to pull him back, and Leoric just didn't do any damage early game, so we were able to keep him under control real quick. I had a Tychus in my lane with me. However, as the game got on, she didn't scale with everyone else, and so it ended up...
Am I the only one that feels like just damage-wise and health-wise, Leoric nerfs are very unapparent?
Well, they didn't nerf any of his damage or
feel
health.
that much weaker to me.
They didn't nerf any of that. They just nerfed his ability to come back faster.
Well, they nerfed his sieging. It used to be to where you could talent into where his skeletal swing would do 100% extra damage to minions and structures. They took the structures out because he was literally going up, clearing an entire lane, and then clearing the towers within like 2 shots. And that wasn't very good. That was contributing to a backdoor Leoric build that was going on.
Yeah, warriors shouldn't be backdoor. Backdoor should be a risk reward, which is more the assassin's place or specialist.
Right. So that was the nerf on him, and he also stays dead for longer, which
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's still
just watching. It's just like, dude,
right.
This is annoying. And then he is quite tanky for how long he gets to be up. I would think it should have been kind of a murky type deal where he's easier to kill, but he also revives so much more.
If you make him easier to kill, though, then you would have to take away or make him like worth half a hero experience-wise.
Yeah.
Because as it is, there's many Leorics that are dying like 14, 20 times in a match, and that's giving the enemy team a lot of experience because he's still worth a full hero's worth experience.
Well, I mean, I think it makes it more tricky and makes him more of a higher skill cap character by doing that.
I have a question with that about hero kills.
Be worth terribly less.
So I'm not a big numbers guy. 1 hero kill, how many minions is that equivalent to?
I think it scales depending.
It's worth an entire wave or something. I think. I don't know.
I think in the beginning that it's 2 waves of minions is 1 hero kill, but I don't know how it scales.
That is substantial. Because because the experience that the minions give scale up as well as their health and their damage.
Everything in that game scales up.
Yeah, and that's as it should be. Otherwise, minions, if they were to become a non-factor, that'd be pointless and dumb. And so dying 20 times in a game, that does give a substantial amount of experience to the other team.
Yeah, it does.
So
has anybody else tried to? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Hans said she'd been playing a lot. So we talked about this patch beforehand. What has your experience? I know you were excited about Kerrigan. Have you played much of her?
Oh yes, I played Kerrigan a couple times.
Tell us about Kerrigan.
She's just really enjoyable, but the only problem still is you need the right team to support her. I mean, she's still gonna die. She's not a tank or by any means. She's not gotten really that much of an improvement to health, but I mean, I really enjoy her more than I did previously.
So there is a different, but you still can't play her like a butcher.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So
I went back to Brightwing, so that has been fun.
Yes. What were the changes that they made with Brightwing?
Back? Is she back?
A lot of people are playing her, and I've had much success in Hero League with her, so it's been good so far.
Awesome.
What is
So-
it that's made her better?
Nothing's really made her better, per se, but with the monk and his AoE healing, I mean, she's a good match against him. The only thing is you don't do nearly as much damage, so you need a lot of damage-heavy people. So.
They also increase her heal as well. On
Okay.
her passive heal.
herself. Mm-hmm.
So the way things work for experience, just that I've seen
Did you look
so
it up?
far. Yeah, I did. First wall turrets and like their walls and stuff. That's 400 XP. Forts are 800. Second wall turrets are 650. Keeps are 1300. Hero
Right.
kills give a base amount, which is 300, and then whether you're in the lead or behind modifies that by a percentage. 2 levels down gives 100% to the underdog, so 600
Nice.
XP. Lane minions, it has a base value and then it scales with time. It's ranged is 60 plus 2 per minute, caster 62 plus 1.8 per minute, melee 70 plus 1 per minute.
Yeah.
Yep, and then mercenaries also scale up, and
Mhm.
objective creatures have the same sort of deal going on.
Gotcha.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So yeah, so getting an early turret along with early kills.
Well, early kills aren't worth terribly much. You think about it, you have, 7 minions per wave. I'm just going to do the math right here, quick, because I'm
Well, and
not
they
doing
come
this in
fairly
my head.
quickly too,
Mhm.
so that makes up for a lot of it.
Plus, I see a lot of people will try to get an early turret or an early wall, and they'll die doing it. So if you're only getting 300 for a turret and 2 of you die getting it, that is not worth it.
Yeah. Basically, a hero kill isn't even worth a wave at the start of the game. If you get the entire wave is 452 experience, whereas a hero kill is 300 at the start of the game since you're on the same level.
So you are almost always going to want to farm.
You'll
up.
want, honestly, farm is much more important unless they are committing and you can make them prevent them from getting farmed.
So the real advantage you get is getting a kill in lane. That's more valuable than getting an early gank and maybe missing out a little farm.
Or shutting
Well,
out a
yeah.
lane from getting experience. If you get them far enough away from the wave that they can't get the experience, that's what's
Yes.
worth.
Yes.
Right.
So we're going to see
numbers
a lot more.
talk on a podcast is always wonderful.
They're important. This is the stuff that if you're listening to this and you learn this, then you don't have to spend the time painting through in the short time that we have to play video games in our adult lives. So this is invaluable information, at least to me.
Oh, actually, the post I got that information from has been updated with the hero kills. It's just the base number is 300, and then it's plus 50 per level. So eventually, heroes will be worth more than waves, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's as time goes on.
Well, plus later in the game, sticking a hero in the penalty box is worth more than the experience.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Heroes is a fun game. I like it.
It's a blast.
It's a fun game.
It's going in the right
There's
direction.
min-maxing to do.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
I'm not comfortable with where it is right now. I'm a little bit. I
We
expect
need more supports.
we need more heroes. I honestly I was gung ho for this game 3 months ago. I thought it was going to be the next big thing. I thought it was really going to compete as far as players go, as far as player base goes. It will never compete with League or Dota as far as like the professional scene goes. That's no surprise, but they haven't really taken the strides that I think they should. The new maps are fun and all, but I would rather have a bigger champion pool.
Well, the champion pool is increasing. I think they're definitely spacing it out, though, and I think that's good. They're trying to keep it the form of regular quote-unquote content updates, so it's, every few weeks we'll get a set of heroes. Like, we got the Monk right now. We know that Rexar and Artanis are in development.
And the StarCraft 2 medic, which I'm very excited for.
Yep. Also the StarCraft 2 medic, and I think that every 2 to 3 weeks there'll be a hero released. Probably that's the way
They said that they're targeting 3 to 4 weeks, and they have kept to 3 weeks for every hero.
Well, that's good.
So they're coming through with their promises, which is great for Blizzard because it's Blizzard.
Well, the thing about Blizzard, and while we do rag on them for soon TM, they're the worst at that. They don't release inferior products. They give us good stuff because they take their time.
And Game of Warlords of Draenor is going to compete with what you just said for truth.
Yes.
But no, like, they've made some mistakes, and that's fine. Every company is going to make some mistakes. Hopefully they learn from it. I think that with Heroes, they're doing a great job, and they're growing their game, and they're letting it progress at a good pace instead of, dumping out 60 heroes at once, and it's like, oh my god, who do I play? Who's overpowered?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Or,
it's
it's very
a good
obvious
way to-
who's overpowered because they didn't properly playtest them.
Yeah.
Well, if you feel like back in the alpha and beta, whenever they would release 2 heroes at once, the meta shifted so much. You're just like, oh my gosh, like who do I play? Who do I spend my money on?
Yeah.
I think if they keep this goal of one hero every 3 weeks until we have, I don't even know how many heroes we need, or how many heroes we're at, but we definitely need more supports. Yes, we need all of them.
Yes.
We need, because there's really only 4, maybe 5 viable supports. If you're looking at the pro scene, there's been a strategy that can be implemented where they could choke you completely out of any supports, which is not great.
Yeah.
And with the way the supports are in this game, you need a support because healing is so
crucial.
powerful.
It's insane.
really
compared
is.
to other MOBAs. So.
Yeah. I think that, like, we'll get more supports, obviously. I really want a Ret Paladin DPS. Tyrion Fordring, please.
Yes!
Thoughts? No, I hate Tyrion. He actually really annoys me.
Well, he's gonna be it, It's gonna be the Asperger.
Yeah.
I know. I can hope for Murad. But, no, and, like, while I think that the skins are priced really high and I like buying them on sale because then they're, like, normal cost, they are very high quality and it is a great looking game. So... Good game.
They do a good
Hearthstone
job on it.
is releasing its expansion soon. This
3
good old
days.
grand tournament. 3 days.
Oh yes.
So
it is.
let's take a quick survey. Jousting or Inspire? What are you going to be playing?
Neither. No. I'll probably be playing Joust. Joust seems better to me. Inspire is so hard to work with. So hard to make work.
That's the
Inspire
word.
seems great for the warrior, to be honest, and like the alteration of your hero power to make it stronger. That's just crazy on a warrior. That much armor.
Yep.
So.
The thing is what they're doing is it seems to be that they're trying to lengthen the games, which means you'd want to play some more like controlled style decks, which means that with the Inspire mechanic, you would need to either have 2 more mana to get the value out of it then, or you would need to create some sort of taunt wall or something to protect it so you can do it the next turn.
Taunt walls are huge for Inspire.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's hard to. It's going to have a high skill cap.
I mean, Tez Dingo, bro.
in comparison with Joust, you get your results. You either get them or you don't, but you get them immediately. There's
Right.
no, well, I hope he survives next turn so I can use my hero power.
Yeah, but I mean, that also adds a interesting flavor because you can bait out which Inspired you want to make them get rid of.
That's true. I mean,
Unless you're going up against a
I
rogue or a
that.
mage and there's no ending of their removal.
Yeah, unless they're a mage and then they just have 8 different copies of Fireball in their deck. And they're just like, pew, 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 all
Yeah.
of your stuff gone.
Yeah.
Also,
Literally
you took
no end to it.
18,000 damage. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Please hope you have Lore Walker Cho.
But those are just the reasons that I probably going to be going more towards the Joust and maybe not even that. Maybe I'll just play with the new cards. I don't know. I'm not going to
there's
go
a
all
lot more
on
than
this
just the two.
expansion. I've gotten kind of out of the Hearthstone. I'm probably just going to go free to play this next expansion.
So I want to talk about. So we're going to move on to Diablo. I want to talk about Activision real quick though. Activision is the publisher that owns Blizzard, partners with Blizzard. I forget which one it is.
I don't know.
But they're partnered with Bungie, making Destiny, which is a very big name on the console scene. They also own the Call of Duty series. They've got 3 developers that they use to make the Call of Duty games. And one thing I want to talk about that they have started using in Destiny is they've changed. It's an MMO style first person shooter game. where you've got gear that you can level up and you can progress with your character. Used to, they had a very World of Warcraft style with the gear. So where you get a new chest piece, you get a new bracers, you get new boots, and it's just more stats. That's all it is, just stats. In World of Warcraft, even, there's a very small handful of items that have special abilities that are actually interesting or would even maybe change your build.
Did somebody say Thunder Fury? Blessed Blade of the Wind?
Exactly. Thunder Fury, you know, there's not very many Thunder Furies. There's not a whole lot that makes that interesting. Obviously, some of the legendary items give you that, but that's like a couple in expansion.
Well, yeah, there's a couple weapons each expansion that have some interesting effects to them. Like the weapons from Dragon Soul apparently had interesting effects.
Yeah,
I didn't
thanks to the
read
fathers
during
there.
Dragon Soul, but they did. There was the Flame Scythe and Kata.
Yep.
Wrath
And
had two legendary weapons. that
trinkets
were
every now and then have some
fantastic.
interesting procs, but again, nothing that changes your gameplay. You're not going to change the way your rotation works
No,
because of a trinket.
Set bonuses you will, and some trinkets you do. There are a few trinkets right now that do change the way you play your class.
Wasn't there a trinket at the end of Mists that basically changed everyone's rotation or something? I don't know.
There were a few trinkets that they were like the test for a stat they wanted to make called Readiness, which would reduce your cooldowns, and they reduced like primary ability cooldowns numbers by like some percentage wise, and then you would have to like alter like, oh, I need to hold it for 3.25 seconds to make it line up with this other person's cooldown.
So, and when it does, it's typically more complex than just like, oh, now it's a min-max thing. People who aren't hardcore players aren't going to probably go for it.
I wasn't hardcore. I was still trying to min-max.
So
Trying. I wasn't actually.
So what my point in that is Diablo 3
Exactly.
is I think Diablo 3 has very much influenced the gaming communities, especially with Activision's company with products, because in that game the legendaries that drop from there affect everything. Like your entire build, your entire rotation, what abilities you choose, what runes you choose is based on what interesting gear you find, what gear you pick. And I absolutely love that. It has made gear interesting for the first time in a long time for me. While it was always exciting in World of Warcraft to go through a raid and find a new piece of gear, and now that your fireballs hit harder, now your cleave does more damage, and now you can pounce faster, whatever. But in Diablo, finding a gear that suddenly, like, you can summon one more zombie dog, or, your avenging shield hits 2 more targets, that makes gear fun again. At least for me, it absolutely has.
Yeah,
one piece of gear can change your entire build on Diablo.
Yeah.
If you get the right set of gear or the right piece of gear.
But honestly, I don't like that so much. I think it's kind of aggravating.
It's very dynamic.
I wish there was a way that you like. That, and it's so RNG based because it's like, oh, I'm halfway done with this set and 3/4 done with this set.
Yes,
right?
that is
I'm
definitely
stuck in
a draw.
this terrible place in between where I don't do super well with either one, and I kind of have to rely on getting carried by my friends for quite a few hours.
That is absolutely a pain.
And there's one thing that I also don't like about that, where it's like, well, it's just I guess it's just a personal thing for me, but it's where like I have a playstyle that I'm comfortable with. I can survive, I can do it. But then I get this other piece of gear that's like, oh hey, you should build your character this way. And I'm like, no, I wanna keep this build. I'm happy with it. I have fun with it. But I don't know. I feel like in some ways it's trying to force me to make it or to build it a certain way.
I think the way it's forcing you is with what Irv was mentioning with the RNG. Where if you could be like, hey, I have this build I really like, let me go and seek out this piece of gear that augments that build, where you could kind of pick and choose like what these set bonuses, what these special perks that you get. I think it would work great. But when it is so RNG based, that makes it very difficult to select a play style. Unless you're one of those guys that just plays nonstop, and so you have every piece of gear. Like we have some friends that play like, or used to play like that, and they had whatever set they wanted, and they would be like, oh, you're not doing much damage? Why don't you go get this set? And I'm like, yeah, let me just play for 60 hours, and hopefully this
And then
drops.
pray I get the right pieces of that set that have the right bonuses, because that's all entirely random.
Yeah, it's like, no, I played Vanilla WoW. I'm good. I don't.
They did it worse this expansion with randomized gearing stats a little bit, and that was just pure aggravation.
They did go pretty far.
They like and then Warforged and Socket. That's so stupid.
But I think Diablo has definitely made the Loot 2.0 has definitely changed the way that we look at gear, and I'm looking forward to it evolving and to becoming something more stable and something that branches out to other games. Because I love gear. Who doesn't love getting a new drop, a new exciting trinket after grinding for hours on a boss, you know? So if we can up the reward factor from that, I think that'd be a great direction to go.
Right. Let's see. Is there any other games anyone's been playing this week? Anything else?
I played a little bit of Star Wars: The Old Republic, leveled that Inquisitor, shocked some people, stabbed them with a double-sided lightsaber, felt cool.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything new? Like, I know that there's the new like Epic Story XP boost.
Yeah, there's the Story XP boost. There's a new race unlock, the Togruta, which
yes.
Really, there's like a few examples, and if I start naming names, you're just gonna be like, "Lol, Star Wars nerd."
No, name names by all means.
Shock T.
Hey, we're all Star Wars
yes,
nerds.
Shock. Yep.
There's no good example of a male Togruta, but
they're
in there.
Oh no, that wasn't. Yeah.
There isn't.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's because the females are so hot. Let's be real.
There isn't.
But I have the male one. He's my Inquisitor, and it's just hilarious. Great storyline.
So this is a free race. You didn't have to buy that.
Oh no, I bought it.
Oh, okay.
I had coins saved up from when I used to play a lot, so I was just
sense.
like, all right, 400 cartel coins or 800 cartel coins, I'll unlock the race.
Mm-hmm.
You know, done. That's fine. I played a little bit of StarCraft 2.
Well, how do you like
campaign.
StarCraft 2, Irv?
I suck at it.
Hey,
I really
so do
enjoy
I.
it, and I like the story, but I suck at it. I am terrible. It is a great story, though. I think it's incredibly fun. I like, working with Tosh. I know that I'm going to have to shoot Tychus in the head, but I'm okay with that because I don't like his voice.
Spoiler alert.
That game came out like 10 years ago. Like,
Game's
I
been
think
out
we're
a
good.
while now. If you don't know that Tychus Finley's a bastard.
He's a bastard, yeah. If you can't look at the guy and not tell he's a bastard, you need to rethink probably every relationship in your life.
Yeah, see, I've not even played StarCraft, and I've gotten that idea from it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh, I love StarCraft, and like they came up with that new automated tournament thing. I've been wanting to try that out.
Yep, we talked about that.
I
Oh
did
my
see
gosh.
that in the newsfeed.
Yeah. And then Hans, you've been playing some League of Legends.
Yes, I have been.
I've been doing that as well. What is now? You told me earlier you played your first ranked game.
Oh yes, I did.
Now, how did that go?
Well, Hans was in middle lane, and I was on fiddlesticks, which is normally great for me.
Yeah.
But I got turret dived repeatedly.
Who
and
are
my
you
team
turret dived
just
by?
Fed kills. I can't remember who it was, to be honest with you, but it was an experience in which I decided I am not ready for ranked play, which is fine with me. I enjoy like my solo queues and then doing team builder. That's perfectly fine. So.
Yeah. It's I go back to League every now and then, and while I thoroughly enjoy Heroes of the Storm, they're two different games. You get different things out of both of them. Irv, you stopped playing League entirely. You got burned out of it, which is not uncommon. Nothing against you.
No, I can't stand even looking at that game right now.
Yeah.
I do want to play some stuff on Steam, and I do open up Steam and let everything update every once in a while, but it's like, oh god, what should I play?
The curse of the backlog. That's what that is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You
There's
open
so
up
many games
Steam
that I
like,
wanna
oh
finish.
man, I'm gonna play some of these 30 games that I bought because they were on sale, and well, I guess they're gonna update, so let's do that for an hour. While they're updating, I'll go play the games that I've been playing.
That, and it's like,
forget.
you do not touch Civ 5, because if you play Civ 5,
You're playing Civ 5 for the next week. That's what you're doing.
No, you end up playing it for the next 26 hours, and then you're like, oh my god, I've had like a moldy crust of bread in the past 3 days. I need to eat.
You walk upstairs, you're like, Mom, what's for lunch? And she's just like, I haven't seen you in 2 days.
Yeah,
And you're like, what?
You're just like, sorry, I was busy, spreading the great and eminent domain of Japan as we develop nukes and just drop them all on Gandhi.
Yes.
Because Gandhi's a bastard.
My problem is like, I'm like, I go to my Steam catalog and I'm like, oh hey, I have all these awesome like story-driven games that I want to play, but I also know that I only have like 30 or 40 minutes to play, so I'm like, I may as well just go do like a game of Heroes of the Storm or like
Yeah.
level in WoW a little bit. I mean, time is a huge issue for me, but I want to play so many of my games. I have like 100 games in my Steam library, but
someday someone will discover the answer for the backlog, and they will be a very famous person.
it's true.
Sell them to other people. Oh, just speaking of Steam games, though, there's a game on Steam that I will recommend to absolutely everyone because it is fantastic and the ending will make you sad and cry. It is called The Banner Saga, and
Oh, I've
it
heard
is
about that.
a RTS style game. It has an interesting combat system, and it's more of a strategy game in the sense of you're, looking after your clan of people. I'm not going to give away too much of the story. But you become the leader of this clan, and you have to travel through these wastes, and you're beset and beleaguered by all of these enemies and trials, and it's a very trying experience.
And
you're
the
just like,
artwork in
"No,
this game
I
is
ran out of
absolutely
food." Oh,
fantastic.
it's beautiful. It is very reminiscent of that Rankin Bass Hobbit sort of animation.
Yes. Yes.
Also, the old Berserk. Like it's a classic animation style that is just beautiful and artsy, and I would recommend that game to anyone.
And it's grid based for those
Yeah.
of you who like that. This does look like a very beautiful game.
So it is turn-based. Yeah, everyone should play that game. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone needs to do a playthrough of it for the channel that isn't me, because I already know the story.
$20 on Steam. I'm sure we can find it on sale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It goes on sale
fairly
periodically.
frequently.
I bought it for a friend before.
Fantastic.
Yeah, plug that game.
Of course, I've been playing Dark Souls. I've made it to the Iron Keep. I am dying over and over again to the Smelter Demon. That is a fun fight. I might post some videos on that, but mostly I play that game, ironically, to relax. And I'll end up dying over and over again. Don't shake your head at me. It's a fun game. So that's been my life. It's a good
You and
time.
your Dark Souls.
Yes. Dark Souls is good. So, well, I think that's all we got for today.
Quite
Yeah.
possibly it.
We have a
It
lot to
does
look
seem to
forward
be
to
it.
with cons in the next few weeks and announcements, and we will keep you guys informed, up to date, and encouraged. So,
I believe we have a new schedule. Is that right, Kyle?
do we? You tell me.
Tuesday and Friday.
Tuesday and Friday, yes, we are Fridays now instead of Thursdays.
Right. So basically, if you guys are new to the podcast, what we'll do is we do 2 a week. On Tuesday, we have kind of like the news type podcast where we have more structured and we talk about what's going on in the industry and whatnot. And then Fridays, we just kind of do what we did today, just derp around, talk about games we played.
Yep.
Yeah.
Set me up for wonderful, wonderful puns.
Yes,
Um,
wonderful puns will ensue.
The
Puns of
puns are real.
damage. are
Puns
quite-
of damage.
Quite true.
Alrighty. Well, let's
River's very punny.
let's make like a tree and get out of here.
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
works. Kyle, you used that one when we lived together. You need to come up with something new.
No, I like this one. All right. Anyway, I've been Jake Kyle. Join with me, Hands of Death, Moonbear, Filthy Casual. Check us out on twitch.tv/jcall37 as well as twitch.tv/Filthy Casual PG. We are on Twitter under those tags as well. And
Are
we will
you
see
going to start streaming anytime soon?
Yes,
No,
I am.
I said Irv.
Oh,
not
okay.
Kyle.
no, my internet doesn't seem to want to do it.
Yeah,
So-
it's rough.
Well,
It's aggravating. I'll record,
Yep.
but stream now.
we will continue to record things and have fun.
So
More series are in the works. I just need to get my Paladin to level 100, and then we can do PvP things on it.
yeah, so
I can teach y'all how to play Paladin.
it's been
Oh,
fun. It's been real.
Bubble.
It's been real fun.
It has been real.
Have a good day.
Have a good night.
Or a good morning.
And good luck,
And good luck,
Guys,
guys.
it's over. Oh.
and have fun.